What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Warsheep Podcast, where today we're going to be discussing a few things that Andrew Tate had brought up when they were in regards to women and their mind frame of thinking. Yeah, we're going to discuss a few things, that and more, right now on the Warsheep Podcast. So let's get it.
Is the sheep preaching hate when he says, I'm not going to let the wolf eat me anymore? If the wolf comes in here, next time he comes in here, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep him off my back. Is the sheep violent or is the wolf the violent one? He wasn't teaching hate, he was teaching common sense. You know, somebody's knocking you over the head, stop them. Do whatever you have to do to stop them. You know, the ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back. So they said, no, he's teaching hate, he's violent.
Women are perpetual victims, and everything a man does to them wasn't their fault. And every single decision they make was a man's fault at some point. Because 5 years ago they had sex with a guy, which they now regret, which is the man's fault. It wasn't their decision. And they're victims who should be protected and believed in all regards. And if a man does anything to them, he's a human trafficker. At the same time, they're fierce and independent, and they're equal to men. In fact, better than men. In everything. And we've put these two frames together in the same society, and we're sitting here going, so if the truth is, if a woman can't be trusted to make her own decisions, she should be listening to her father. But they're saying, no, women don't listen to their fathers, they're independent, they can do what they want. Okay, well, she's independent, she can do what she wants. She's decided to become a star, like Mia Khalifa did. And then, when she regrets doing, she starts doing videos saying, my manager tricked me. That's what happened. If your manager could convince you to do
Wasn't she making hundreds of millions on OnlyFans as well?
Oh yeah, she's making hundreds of millions.
So did he trick her into that?
Of course he did.
Yeah.
So if your manager can trick you into having sex with 300 men for hundreds of millions of dollars over a period of 6 years, oops, then perhaps you should do as your dad says. But at the same time, you think you're too smart to listen to your father. Which one is it? Like, the society needs to make its mind up. The whole thing is a joke, and it's all done on purpose to deliberately attack masculinity. It's not safe to be a man anymore. You can't be a man and have normal relations with women in any regard without it being used against you if they so wish.
There's a content creator by the name of Andrew Wilson, and he has a channel called The Crucible, and he calls it Schrodinger's feminist. It's basically the idea when society tells you that women are strong and independent, but also they're perpetual victims of an oppressive patriarchy.
I've dealt with women who have this mind frame of thinking, who have a mind frame of thinking of it's the man's fault. Not only that, they would like to destroy the man's reputation and just destroy his life altogether, period. You know, you see it time after time after time. Every man has been through it just about, you know, so many men have had to deal with women like this who have a vindictive spirit. Number one thing they like to do is just discredit the man and to destroy his reputation. That's just kind of their MO. So it's like, when you see a duck and it quacks like a duck, is it a goddamn duck? Of course it's a goddamn duck. I mean, it is what it is. That's the reason why as men, we'd have to be more selective as to who we choose to court, who we choose to entertain ourselves with, to be around. You got to be very careful about this, because if you're lax, if you're loose with who you choose to associate yourself with, not only do you devalue yourself, but you devalue your standards. You act practically or asking or begging for somebody to do you wrong or to do something to betray you or betray your trust. You're practically begging for these things. So us as men, we'd have to be more focused as to what we're doing, how we're spending our time, what we're spending our time on, and how we choose to make ourselves you know, more of a success, or more to make ourselves stronger, you know, not only financially, but spiritually, physically, things of that nature. What are we doing to motivate ourselves, to push ourselves? And that's what, you know, your core focus should be on, and not on women, you know what I mean? Not on what, you know, they're doing, things like that. Even though, yeah, if you choose or you find the right woman, that woman could help you build an empire. But you know, the thing is that the percentage of finding her, especially here in the States, is extremely, like, the percentages are pretty low, you know. So you have to think about if it is important enough. What's the most important thing? Is your success? Is your financial stability? Is your peace of mind? Is this more important to you than having a relationship with a woman who possibly could destroy all of that for you. So it's something you really want to consider and think about. Don't lose focus. Don't get off track. Don't become a simp and start to indulge or splurge on somebody because you feel like they're going to improve your life or they're going to add value to it just because they got something in between their legs. You really have to consider who you are and what you're willing to endure or what you're willing to deal with. Most people who are not on a financial level of being a multimillionaire has to really consider what they're doing. They have to take into account that they may be making a mistake dealing with a woman who they shouldn't be dealing with. So that's what I would really consider for the most part, and of course it's a beautiful day out here. I seen it, one thing's for sure. I seen a man riding a bike today and he had his dog running with him, and things. And he had the biggest smile on his face. And I'm just like, man, he must have recently got divorced. He can't be married. There's no way, because there's no way he would be this happy, riding his bike, getting his exercise in, and just kind of enjoying the morning, enjoying the day, So what a huge smile on his face. I'm like, man, he seems fulfilled. He seems like he's being prosperous and fulfilled and things of that nature. It's just a beautiful sight to see. That's like right now, just spending time outdoors, shooting this video here for you guys, and it's just smiling. I'm not in a relationship. I don't have anybody right now, and I just came out of a really bad situation with, it's dealing with a woman who cannot accept accountability. And that's the problem with majority of women. They cannot accept accountability for their actions, for what they've done wrong. And once you've called them out on shit that they've done, that's when they really dropped it. That's when they really torched the whole thing. They set everything ablaze, you know what I mean? It's just like this self-destruct, just as it says, in scripture, that a foolish woman will build her house, but a wise woman will build her house, but a foolish woman will pluck it down with her hands. And that it's better to dwell on the rooftop than in the house with a contentious woman. You're right. There's so many different scriptures you can go and read that talks about this particular issue, these particular problems, the same things that we're on here talking about now, on social media about relationships and how women are one of the key factors as to why a relationship will succeed or will not succeed, despite how much money you have. Because honestly, we just found out that a pretty well-known rapper child wasn't even his, and this guy's making how much? Millions of dollars, and still had a woman who stepped out and did whatever she did. It's like, it doesn't matter what level of success you're on. Only thing that matters is your level of preeminence. How badly does she really need you? Like how much does she really rely on you? And even then, there's a chance to where that still is nothing. That still doesn't. What's her morality? What's her level of honor for herself? And you got another man who's just speaking about, I'm not too sure who this guy is. I would really like to know who he is, because he spoke about it very well. Like, if you put the choices in front of a woman, whether she should choose to take off her clothes in public and for strangers and receive millions of dollars, or if she should keep her honor, keep her integrity, and do it in an honorable way, what would she choose? Man, just take a listen to what he had to say.
So when you send the message to women and to girls that wealth can be rapidly expedited for them if they take off their clothes on stage or on camera, rather than develop their minds, rather than develop their skills, their character, and so on. When you tell women and girls that you're going to have to go to university for years, you're going to have to be in the workforce for years before society will monetarily reward you anywhere close to what it will reward you right now, today, if you will just objectify yourself and get naked in front of strangers. The message is crystal clear. We want you to be what we think you are, which is a sexual object. And if you'll go along with that, you will be generously rewarded. We don't think you have dignity. We don't think you have honor. We don't think you're decent. We think that you're agents of the devil and instruments of sin. You caused the fall of man. That's deeply embedded in the cultural thinking of the West. And clothes, being covered, covering your nakedness, is only for the dignified. That's why they strip you in interrogations, to break you down, to humiliate you, to create an imbalance of power between you and the interrogators. I know what I'm talking about because they did it to me. They do it to make you vulnerable. Well, that's what the Western society does to women. Forget about slut shaming. They practice modesty shaming, virtue shaming, dignity shaming.
I believe that this is totally factual, totally true. My thing is that the feminist movement fights because they don't want to be sexualized or overly sexualized, but then they feed into it. The women are the ones who actually feed into the narrative on a day-to-day basis, and it's just extremely is just baffling to me. I don't understand that part. So my thing is that with a better understanding, it would have to be explained better. It'll have to be explained more, because you lost me once you've taken it to this point. You know what I'm saying? So how do you fight a war against yourselves? How you fight a war against yourselves? You say that masculinity or men are the ones who are doing this, sexualization, things like that. But I believe that women who are making the choices to put themselves in those situations are the ones you really should be trying to check. You really should be talking to, because those are the ones who's putting you in a situation that forces you to be over-sexualized or treated like that's all your work is, which arguably, some women, that's all they have. That's all they can be able to produce. And then you have other women who are extremely intelligent, who are worth producing more and investing more into. But those are few and far in between. So take a look at yourselves first, right? And you have to identify where the real problem lies, and you need to go for the problem. And I would say an even bigger issue and an even bigger problem would be the Mia Khalifas of the world, would be some of these people who, I got tricked and, bamboozled into sleeping with hundreds of men, and I didn't realize what I was doing and all this other stuff. But your father told you what you shouldn't do, what you should do, how you should move, and you fancied yourself to be wiser than him. Then you decided that was not something that you wanted to do yourself, like that you didn't want to heed the wise counsel coming from your father, who loves you, who cares about you, who wants to see you be the best woman that you can possibly be. And that's just one of the things that really, come on now, only man that would truly love you unconditionally, with conditions, conditionally, unconditionally, is your father. That's the only man that's going to want to see you be successful in life and want to see you have the best, a better man than him, even, if he can possibly get, find a man who's better than him. He would love to see his little girl better with a better man than him, taking great care of her, things like that. So that right there is one of the biggest things. Now, I talk about love and loving your wife and being able to add value in those ways for a man to have those things on his mind. And honestly, there's a limit to it. There's a boundary to it. Because if you love too hard as a man, then a woman can take advantage of you every time and treat you like absolute trash because she doesn't see that you have value, right? So, what I mean by loving your wife is to not allow your heart to grow cold towards her, not to have a hardness of heart. If she wants to sit with you at some point and cuddle, that you're not going to, send her away and turn her away, that you're going to allow her to do it, even though she might be disrupting some of your personal time, you're going to allow her to do it just to have a moment with her, to spend some time with her, or even to think about her every so often outside of work, to take some time away, to spend time, or to go on and take her out on a date, things like that. You know, there's no reason why you should be allowing her to eat out every day, you know, or to do certain things like that, because, you know, it ruins the mystery. It ruins the excitement of being able to work towards having a night out. You know, you want to give her something to work towards. Like, I'm going to work hard to please him, to be sure that I can spend time out, or go get a bite to eat out, or go to this really beautiful restaurant that I really want to go to. A woman must earn this privilege. It shouldn't be just given. You know what I mean? They should have to earn everything. You know, everything that they want, they should earn it. You want to be a stay-at-home mom, earn the right to be able to stay at home. If you want to go out and work and have a career, earn the right to be able to go out, work, and have a successful career. You know what I mean? But you can't be my wife, going out working, having a successful career, and then allowing the home to go to shit, or not, or we're only sleeping together twice a month. You know, you can't think that we're going to have a successful relationship if your performance is off and you're not performing well as a wife or a mom. If you're not performing well as a wife or a mom, you're only giving it up once or twice a month, and this man's supposed to maintain a loyalty to you, and you have a mindset that he should be monogamous and solely with you. Nah, if you can't handle your obligations or your role and your conjugal rights, your duty to a man, I'm going to find a woman who can, and I'll bring her into the home as well. And you can go do what you want to do. And then this woman is going to be there for the things that you're lacking. You know what I mean? And this is my solution, as opposed to putting you away. It's supposed to getting rid of you. You know, I still care about you, still love you, still want to keep you around, think that we got a great connection. But I need another woman who's going to come in and fulfill the duties that you refuse to fulfill. You know, and it's the reason why you got men who step out on their woman all the time. Because men, they want what they want. So you can't blame certain people for making certain things, but you can say this, all right? Most men will do what it takes to sustain a relationship, or just to keep a woman around and not just put her away or get rid of her. They will find solutions, and solutions that suits them, and even result to lying to you just to keep you around longer, just to be sure that you're not hurt, right? Like, this is the compromising of their integrity. It's just wild. It's crazy. So my thing is that, you know, you shouldn't have to do it. You should have a desire to be able to fulfill these things. And if you're the type of woman who does not have that desire to be able to fulfill your role, then you should evaluate what your priorities are. And you should really think about being a better mate to your husband, your whoever it is, you know, being a better spouse, being a better support system, before you think about yourself and what you want. Think about him and what he requires from you, what he needs, and nothing more, nothing less, right? And that's gonna develop that success within your relationship, right? But, you know, saying it and doing it are two totally different things.
I understand that a lot of men, we don't really run away from marriage. We run away from divorce.
That's a fact.
We're not running away from marriage. But you gotta understand, if I found out what marriage is, it's like, I love my girl to death, but you mean to tell me if I make one mistake, they can ruin me for the rest of my life on one mistake? If she make a mistake, it's cool. She make a mistake, divorce is good. She just go on about her life. I make a mistake that can cost me for the rest of my, that ain't really fair. You know, one day I want to make my girl that happy because it's truly for her. Yeah, and I'm man enough to say men don't look into, and it's coming from somebody who parents been married. I'm 35. My parents been married since I was 5. Right. So this coming from a married home couple. I don't. It's just what they done made it to be now. Right. It's like, okay, I see married people. It's really a money game now. It seems like it's like I get married. There's no benefits for me. It's no benefits for me but to make her happy. So now if I get married, okay, cool. Now as a man or whoever I am, I haven't made no mistake with my girl for 8 years.
Right.
Never got no Texas, came to her as no woman. No woman came to her as no woman. I'm not on camera. I'm not doing nothing. I done did my thing. You know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me if I slip up, I do something up, and she just feel like she don't want to give me a chance, she could possibly take half of what I own.
If you don't think women like to go 50-50, just wait till you see them in divorce court. No, but in all seriousness, he's right. When the state introduced no-fault divorce, they pretty much turned marriage into long-term relationships where anybody can just leave at any time for any reason, but the man has all the liability. I've never seen a woman get punished for breaking her family. It seems like they only get rewarded at this point.
I appreciate you guys joining us for the conversation today. If you agree with some of the commentary that was done, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. Tell me what your thoughts are. Should women be more considerate, more thoughtful as to what they're doing with their spouses? Yes or no? Drop it in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Let's keep the conversation flowing. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, see you the next one.